Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Team Russia against nothing left. A little bit more Division S action right here. And you might have guessed it already. We are actually casting this series from replays. Now again, I haven't actually seen any of these games, but unfortunately they took place live while I was on my mini trip to Germany visiting friends and family. So now we're gonna drop this up here, at least for YouTube and of course for the live viewers here on Twitch. Stork on Johanna for Team Russia, Koya Martian on Rhaegar. We're seeing Fallen on Mephisto, taking a page out of the book of Macke, who loves that hero. Barnaby on Hanzo, Shamsig on Thrall, and on the right side, for nothing left, we have Podipos on Tacita and Linked on Tyrande. Double support combo for DAB on Tracer, Blakitney on Junkrat, and Mopsio on Diablo. Nothing left actually at this point with Mopsio, as he is now going to play with the team pretty much full time as far as I know. So it's actually pretty cool to see him in the Polish team here once again. And yeah, this one should be a really cool series actually. The Russians had a little bit of trouble as they played their recent few matches, but they are definitely a very strong team still. Hyper-aggressive, of course, and they are trying to improve their position in the standings there a bit. But game number 1 is already starting us off with a Tracer pick for DAB with a double support behind him. That's going to be scary to say the least for Stork and his boys here. So we'll see how that goes. Also, again, as we're currently casting this, if you guys like Division S, if you're enjoying the coverage here and also the commentary, again, you watch this on YouTube, make sure that you like the video. And it's always appreciated if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a comment there as well. This one's pretty much casted for YouTube, so yeah, for you guys watching this as a VOD right now. Down at the bottom of the map, we're already having a bit of a dance around. I mean, obviously, it's always about those siege giants down here. That's what we're seeing at this point, but the scout comes out as the Tyrande sends her all over. It's actually kind of nice to have control again. We've been casting quite a bit of the gold league setup here, but having a proper overlay for the observers and having full control over it is kind of refreshing and nice. Mopsy was in a bit of trouble here for a moment. Massive brawl bot lane. The only one that's missing at this point is actually Mephisto, who's still sitting at the mid and top, but it's all about the siege giants down here. 5 versus 4, therefore in favor of nothing left. The attack by Diablo, maybe a little bit too deep, and the kill for a kill as Hanzo and Dibbles both fall. The camp, in this case, not taken yet, still up for grabs. They're fighting over it like monsters. Damn, Rhaegar down, everybody low, Stork falls, and Thrall is dead too. A 1 for 4 kill count, and we're seeing the siege giants now also taken by, well, the blue team at least. So they got that, but they did lose everything else. They lost a few gems, and and the interesting part is that the gem count is actually still pretty even. It's 20, well, maybe not quite, 25 against 13. But let's face it, it could have been worse. They didn't have that many gems because it was still super early in the game. But damn, did we have a brawl there for a moment. So yeah, nice engage, and well, as it turns out, nothing left. The team is coming out with a big lead out of this. I mean, they are more than half a level ahead right now. They obviously have the advantage in gems, and with all the kills, those look actually really good for them. When we're talking Tacita, then it's the Life Leech on level 4 for him again. In this case, you're obviously supporting Tracer, so that makes a lot of sense. And Tracer's already looking for the potential kill. Yeah, there comes the Wolf on the other hand, the quick root that we're seeing. Or as Tim would say, the big wolf. For now, we're having Farlander, as we're looking at his build a little bit. I mean, he starts things off again with the Shade of Mephisto here for the active spell power. A bit of a different approach actually that we are seeing from Macke normally, but still the Lightning Nova focus on level 4 here for the static barrier, which is obviously all about having survivability then there too as well. Brawl in the mid lane again. Only one of the teams currently with a spell aura, so nothing left, has to be a bit careful as Team Russia is trying to push this into the wall and take a few of the structures down. They themselves have 38 gems now, but they still need to turn them in. The AB is looking for more aggression, looking potentially also for a kill here. Still molesting Stork at this point. Tacita has to be careful. That hit point pool on the Protoss is these days pretty low. So with a good and coordinated effort, Tacita can be pretty much blown up within a second. There's a quest completion for Thrall. 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Pretty decent. Again, We've seen some crazy early ones, but everything that is around the 4-minute mark is usually absolutely acceptable. Still the pressure down here to the bot lane. Now, Thrall obviously later on can use the Chain Lightning to just go for those point-and-click damage outputs against DAB. That's exactly what we're going to see from him a lot more often. DAB with the attempt to drop Barnaby, that didn't quite work out, but the aggression is still there, and he's starting to move in again as Podibor stays in the back to provide shield after shield. Went also on level 7 now into the Psionic Protection. So Tracer is a lot freer now to engage deep with still being secured that shield from Tassadar whenever it comes off cooldown. Farlander nearly dying here. Oh, and Junkrat gets the hit. Link was looking for the owl kill and can't get that, but at least we're having Rhaegar around to make sure that those gems are not going to fall. Nicely done here by the red team. Kill number 5, and now they also have the Web Weavers in play again. The first objective goes to them right there. So once again, starting to make the play right there. Mopsio already sitting here. Link is also in a position where he could follow up any kind of move from Mopsio with a quick stun here. But there's the Web Weavers, and the big question is now how much can they get in terms of structural damage. They're trying to go through the bottom. Shamsig is already low, but has the fountain and tapped, so that helps him. But he needs to be super careful. Yeah, the owl nearly collecting with him. And at this point, Link is really threatening to get a kill with that. Talking kills, top lane, that's where they are pushing back Junkrat. In the mid lane, Farlander was attacked again. But they're actually doing well with the defense on most lanes so far. Mid lane is not a problem, it's really the bottom of the map where they are struggling slightly. So yeah, that's not only a fountain gone, but it seems like we might even see the death of, or the destruction of the fort itself. Everybody else is converging into the mid lane right now with Stork moving in, hitting the Condemn again. But the bot lane pressure is still on. Now the Web Weaver has been destroyed, and that means that we have the walls completely destroyed too, but the fort itself is still standing. But it was definitely a nice first objective for them. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want to take a fort, right? I mean, that's always the dream. It doesn't really happen all that much, but it happens occasionally. And for now, with the minion wave now also pushing in, it looks like that might be the end of at least one fort on the map. You can see that Khaldor Martian isn't even going for anything here. He's just saying, like, yeah, I don't know where they are. They might be waiting for me. If there's a quick approach to me, then I'm dead already. So let's not do this. Tracer is taking the bottom camp in the meantime for her team. Having a level 10 ability is now ready for them as well. Shamsig actually trying to go for the wolf. Gets dodged. But still gets some damage onto DAB himself. And with level 10 abilities, of course, they now have a slight advantage here. And with this, we're still seeing Team Russia attempting to get their own heroic abilities. That's what they need right now. Fort at the bot lane, as expected, has now fallen. So Tracer went in and finished the job. In terms of damage output, to give you guys a bit of an idea. Tracer on 23,000. DAB just a monster on that character, of course. I mean, DAB is just insane. So we're having 19,000 on Hanzo. And another turn and attempt. I mean, they can't complete it just yet, but they're definitely going to try and get rid of all of the gems they have before we're seeing Team Russia on eye level. And Team Russia, they hold 88 gems, but they have not turned in a single one of them yet. So they need to be super careful. If they get wiped again, if they lose a hero or two, whew, that would be a setback, to say the least. Yeah, already Barnaby again attacked here. DAB is just everywhere. DAB is threatening Hanzo whenever he can. He's trying to go for Farlander here too. And yeah, 47 gems already turned in, by nothing left, and they are looking phenomenal in the early game. But the lead is not that big yet. They have a structural advantage, but it is still within reach of their opponent. Because if you look at the setup right now, Team Russia, with one simple team fight, could all of a sudden take over the experience they get. And there's the arrow talking team fights. In comes the blessed shield. Mopsio is assailed, but is able to move out. Riptire comes in, and the kill nearly against Farlander. Not quite working out there. Rhaegar actually with the Ancestral, not connecting with Mephisto. Was a bit tough. 3 of them clustered up on the same spot here. Bot lane value as those siege giants are starting to break through not only the minion wave, but also attacking the structures themselves. I guess we're going to see Mephisto take care of that. Unless Thrall is going to rotate down, but there's the Web Weavers again. No turn in for the blue team. It's the red team again with the Web Weavers in this series. And this is starting to become an issue for Team Russia. They need to turn in their gems. They need to get rid of them. And it's tough. It's honestly tough at this point. I mean, right now, mid lane fort is something that you're definitely going to aim for. Bot lane is heavily pushed out, so that's going to add value for them as well. And here come the spiders. It's time for them to try and go through here and drop another structure, another main one. Nobody at the bottom of the map currently from the red team. Nothing Left isn't really concerned about this. They know that Thrall will clear that out eventually, but in the meantime, they can attack with 5 heroes in the mid lane and secure themselves at least one more destroyed fort. I'll say one more because the one at the top lane is also getting attacked, and uh-oh, that might be a problem. Shamsi, can he get away? That's the slow, the attack, but the thundering comes out, and that's the end of the AB. And the arrow connects, the blessed shield connects too, and that's the second kill. Tracer goes down, Tyrande follows, they're going for Mopsio, and that's the mob's dead. Down goes Dibbles. Now we're having 4 kills against 5, nearly even experience, but all of the outer structures of Nothing Left have been destroyed. But there is definitely a silver lining for them now. They have so many gems, and they should be able to turn them in once they defeat the Web Weavers at the top. With the level 13 talents that they now hold too. Camp is already about to be taken over here. Podipos is actually incredibly low. I could have definitely seen him move back to the Nexus and just top up mana and everything. But yeah, they're currently doing... I mean, again, Team Russia is fighting back into this. And they are the comeback team. I mean, they are the comeback kings for a reason. If that team would have any other name, it would be the Comeback Kings. These guys are just always falling behind and then turning it around, and once again they do the same thing. They have insane engage, honestly. I mean, it started off with a Sundering that pretty much insta-killed Tracer, but then you see shortly after that, you see the stuns coming out with a Blessed Shield, after the arrow already connected. There's so many CCs that they have that they can stack, that you can easily force engages, and that's currently what the Russians are doing here. Yeah, there's the turn-in attempt, so far interrupted. There's a shit ton of interrupt, honestly. I mean, you have Junkrat with the grenades, that's already annoying enough, and then with the Psionic Reach, you actually see Podipos also dropping that Storm the entire time. Banabir gets also attacked again by Tracer. The AB back to business here. 40,000 damage for him nearly. And it's 140 gems now for the blue team. They have 140 fucking gems in here. And they are just able to not... I mean, they're not able to turn them in. And here comes the approach by Nothing Left. So every single time you see that move, it's basically an offering to say, you turn in, we take boss, you sacrifice one of your Web Weaver waves to defend against the boss, and we are like all moving away from that. But it gets sniffed out by Team Russia too quickly. So there's not actually a threat of Nothing Left claiming it. They really can't. Now we're still having the attack down here. Shamzik is getting attacked again. DAB sitting pretty tight too. And then comes the move from the right side. Alright, Stark needs to be a little bit careful. 50 gems on him. They have nearly 3 turn-ins together now. That's nearly 3 turn-ins that they're holding there. There's the Blessed Shield and the full setup against Tyrande. Get wrecked. They burn nearly every single cooldown that they have on heroics, but they get the kill. And that's a 5 versus 4, and that should be a turn-in. And right now, we are just moving in with Stork, trying to single-handedly to commit to that. But the interrupts are there. The Kidney is actually trying to get in interrupt, but they already intercept him, and that Collier Martian is going to be 41 gems for him. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Alright, Tessida was close, but he wasn't close enough. So yep, that's the first 41. Now they just need another 9, and that's going to be turn-in number 1. And by the meantime, if they don't lose a hero here, they will definitely be able to turn in 3 times in a row. If they get close enough. There's the interrupt. Jesus, it's so annoying. I mean, like outside of Tacita and of Junkrat, you have also the Tyrande out. How pissed would you be if you're trying to turn in here right now, if you're Team Russia and you just get interrupted all day long? It's honestly, it feels at this point like it's insane. So now we have 16 versus 16 any second, and Nothing Left is just again able to make sure that they don't get that turn in. And oh, Stork, he cannot die. There's the Blessed Shield. There's a bit of body blocking happening too. Arrow comes through and saves Johanna. Honestly, if Stork falls here and loses the 58 gems that they have, then they are in more than a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Sundering. Here's the flank. They're going in again. The tire comes in. Mopsio retreating for a moment, but still followed Shamzik with a self-ancestral. But the dog is still dead. Actually, it was Ruega with the self-ancestral. Shamzik also nearly died, but we have actually the kill against Johanna. Ruega with the self-ancestral here. The dog still down. And now they can go for, well, pretty much a turn-in and or a boss. They don't have the gems just yet, but with Tassadar currently pushing out the mid lane, he's definitely going to get closer to help his team out here. I mean, they need 6 more. At this point, they need 4 more, so that's going to be easy if they catch another wave. But yeah, so at this point, what's going to be it? Having Tassadar currently at the bot lane, making sure that he can defend this, so there's no actual turn-in happening. But yeah, Nothing Left is now in a fantastic position. 7 kills against 5, and they're looking at a setup where they can go for the first keep of the game. Maybe even get another turn in 2, which would of course be crazy good for them. Apply even more pressure, get more structures, get those catapults on the lanes, get them pushing. And there's the turn from at least Mopsio. The rest of the team hasn't really made any moves to turn in yet. I mean, Boss is still holding on to 16, 17. Goes up to 19 here. Boss is already at the top side, and that one is easily threatening keep. They need to commit a lot more to the defense of this boss if they want to make sure that the keep doesn't fall. And while we're saying this, we still have the 1 level lead for Nothing Left, and they are now starting to slowly complete that turn in. They need 2 more gems turned in, and Linked is doing the job here. And that's now Web Weavers coming in on every single lane. Boss in the meantime defended against, but still doing serious damage against the keep top side. Can they actually even take this? I mean, not quite, but the Web Weavers, once they come down, should do the job. And meantime, we're having the red team starting to rotate from lane to lane to open up those walls, get a bit more value with the Siege Giants before they rotate back in. Junkrat is top side, already pushing towards the keep again. That one is definitely going to fall. I mean, top lane is not going to be defended whatsoever, and everybody else is at the bottom of the map, so they're trying to create 2 positions as far away from each other as possible, where they have pressure applied. Mid lane gets defended first. That one should be an easy one. Problem is the keep at the top is now down, and the keep at the bottom is likely to fall. I mean, especially with the Siege Giants also chipping in. And again, the wave clear is pretty good for Russia. Take down the web Weaver quite easily. Keep this down to half HP. I want to see Impress. I thought that would be a little bit more difficult. The tire comes through. Core is taking a bit of damage. Actually, not real damage yet, but it's just shields. We're still only 16 minutes into the game, but you know what I mean. It's definitely being threatened here. But I like that we're having Team Russia understanding that and just saying like, okay guys, that's not really needed. Let's focus on the things that they can get right now. The things that really hurt, those keeps. And if they just scratch the shields on the core, who cares? They can't end here anyways. Yeah, Owl connecting again. Thunderstorm now also completed for Thrall is level 16, so gets a bit more control over this. Thrall at this point is seeing at 30,000 damage. Hanzo on 52. Well, here comes another attempt to go for Johanna. Again, when we're talking about Tracer, you want to throw that bomb out whenever you can. Obviously, if you expect a big fight to happen and you're looking for a direct kill, it's a bit of a different story. But generally speaking, you want to keep your opponent low. You want to make these plays. Blessed Shield comes out. That was an attempted force because we had 20 nearly ready for Nothing Left. But it backfires quickly. A lot of them already low, and the Ancestral saving Hanzo for a few seconds, but now Thrall being attacked, and that's 27 gems down. Not a single turn in yet for the blue team. 27 gems eliminated. They hold another 100 here, but this is the end of Johanna, this is the end of Hanzo, and they are just absolutely getting murdered. Farlander has 65 gems now. 65. Rhaegar goes down, Farlander is the only survivor. And they just lost roughly 60 gems through all those kills. Now, some were recovered for sure, but oh my god, not really. And that is game. That is 100% game. I mean, that was the ticket back into it, even if you can defend here, which I already thought was probably not going to happen. But with him now falling too and this being a full team wipe, there's just no way. Game number 1 ends up in favor of Nothing Left here in Division S as they are victorious on Tomb of the Spider Queen, taking down Team Russia with 12 kills to 5. GG. Great game here by Nothing Left and well played. Let's head straight into game number 2. Game number 2, ladies. Nothing Left with the lead. Great game there on the last map. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, now we're in Infernal Shrines, and Team Russia plays with Stalk on Dibbles. On the left side of our second map, Barnabeer on Tracer. Tracer making the rounds here. Kolya Marshall, Malfurion, Farlander on Gul'dan, and Shamzik on Rexa. And over to the right side of the map, nothing left with Podibos on the offlane Imperius. Mopsio, the main tank Arthas, linked on Tyrande. Junkrat again played by Blakidney. And we have Hanzo played by DAB. That's Tracer time again. Wer hat noch nicht, wer will noch mal? Anybody can play Tracer once at least in this series, apparently. That's what we're seeing there. So yeah, they're kind of taking over here. Already Banabir zipping around, trying to get the damage in. The bird, by the way, taken. The bird of prey here on level 1 for Rexa. Doing bird things. Honestly, it would be amazing if the bird, if you had for your hawk, if you could just like, you know, you summon a hawk and you had like a talent that would be called bird poop, and you could just like poop on people, like a pigeon. That would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, Blizzard, there's an idea for you right there. If you make that a skin, I mean, my wallet is ready. That's all I can tell you. With that said, we actually have Consuming Flame here on level 1, so a bit of a different setup. Usually we're speccing more into the trade here on Imperius. I honestly haven't seen that variation in like ever. I mean, Imperius' build is pretty set these days. But yep, we have some adjustments already happening. Down to the bottom of the map in the meantime. DAB and Link currently battling it out with them here. Alright. There is a lot of CC actually. I mean, if you're thinking about a Howling Blast and then Tyrande stun right after that, there is a lot that they can do with this. Talking about a lot to do. DAB. Ooh, Banabir. Yeah, that's going to be a battle in this series, isn't it? Banabir against DAB. Banabir, of course, putting in the plays lately, but DAB is just sitting there saying like, bro, I'm the OG. You got nothing on me. And then so far in game number 1 on Tracer, he kind of proved that a little bit, but now Banabir has a chance to turn it around. Mopsio, of course, already looking for the Howling Blast. Gets it. Has the stun. And can they get the kill? Nah, but it was close. Really close even. Yeah, Malfurion nearly falling to this one. Well, in the meantime, of course, those cams are starting to do a little bit of damage as well. And we have Farlander in the middle, currently getting the stacks together for Echoed Corruption, Mopsio. Farlander's like, nope, not happening. Mopsio on the Unicorn here. Alright, alright. Up to the top lane, Shamzik. Rexa is a weird one. Like, Rexa these days is actually like an interesting character. I mean, we had the big Rexa hype of, I would say, March. And by now, Rexa is still being played and prioritized, but he's not quite as high in the meta anymore as he was before. But he's still a solid pick there. Battle Hunger still, okay, so at least we have on level 1 the spec, sorry, on level 4 the spec into the Valorous brand. So the self-sustain on the lane is still super important for him. I would still be shocked to not see the Holy Fervor on level 7 for him. Also Hunter-Gatherer for Shamzik, looking for that extra armor. Looking for it here. Needs a few more regeneration globes for that to happen. Mopsy doing his thing there, and yeah, and it's honestly, it's kind of, it feels kind of nice to have Mopsy now as the main tank for the team here. So yeah, they made that little change, and it's honestly going to be interesting how much that is going to impact their performance, just generally speaking. I mean, keep in mind when we're looking at this, actually, Nothing Left is battling it out at the top right now with Washed Up, and especially with Granite Gaming. I mean, Nothing Left and Granite, they are just going back and forth trying to claim the pole position in the standings, and it is insane in the European Division S at this point. It's honestly a bit crazy. These teams, they give no quarter whatsoever. Now Junkrat still in the mid lane, will rotate over after he has the wave pushed out, but obviously there's already 20 stacks in the hands of the Russian team. The Russians again with the typical aggression that we're seeing from them. Misha already at the front. And if that's not a Russian bear right there, then I don't know what is. Misha, typical. And we're also now seeing the level 7 talents popping in a little bit earlier for Nothing Left, and they try to use that advantage for an immediate push. Well, a slight one at least. 40 bosses there in the middle. Having Blakidney the entire time sitting here. But now it's 39, so they're never really making the big play. Junkrat never rotated top. He was just sitting there, was just saying like, you know what guys, we're still going to be fine with this. This is going to be okay. And yeah, here comes the Punisher, jumps over, baited right away. And we're having the immediate burn down as quickly as they can. But the first tower is already down, second one about to fall. So that's where they're going to try and get the value. But Podibos from the side, they want to go for Dibbles, and the Howling Blast misses, but at least the lunge connects. But it's definitely not enough to threaten. Oh, to threaten Stork, but they can threaten Hanzo. Down goes DAB, and Banabir goes in and says like, oh gee, my ass, my friend. Make Make way for the new kids. New blood is coming in now, and you can go home. Sit down in your armchair, read a good book or something. I'm gonna rule the Nexus now. The kid near the bot lane is still poking a little bit, but that was the first kill of the game actually. So nice move from Barnaby as he started to move in for this one. And yeah, Stalk also still looking for a wall stun, and he finds it. Yep, there's also the root on the ground, and Mopsio needs to be a little bit careful. Farlander obviously dropping the damage now with the Echo Corruption. Whew, there's the kill against Rexa. Okay, he's down. That was an easy one. That was Blakidney getting the kill in, and with now Rexa dead, that's at least evening out the kill count. On the top lane, Barnaby starting to push through the lane as well. Yeah, Tracer's magnificent wave clear in action as Diablo falls in the middle, and they're trying to go for a second kill too. They might even get it, nah? Not quite. But Koya Martian has been under pressure a long time right now. That was a rotation top two. I like this. It's a lot more aggressive right now all of a sudden, where teams are really trying to get these kills. Especially, of course, since we're having a lot of CC chains coming through from both sides now. Mopsio, bit of mana problem here at this point. But there's a little 10 abilities, slightly quicker for them. And with that now, we're having the Riptire, we're having the Arrow. Still waiting a little bit of what Imperius is going to take. I want Wrath. Especially with Arthas and Tyrande. I mean, that's the delivery system right there. Come on, Bo. Level 7, by the way. I haven't even caught up on that. Sorry. Blaze of Glory. So again, Solarian's Fire focus. I've even seen it in action and didn't even notice it. So no Holy Feather for him. Alright, Apocalypse has now also been claimed. But yeah, I still want to see Wrath on Imperius' side. That delivery system, I mean, it's a little bit demeaning for Imperius. He's all high and mighty the entire time. Then he turns into a delivery driver for Uber Eats and just delivers the kill into the backline all the time. But it's still pretty awesome, to be honest. I mean, armament is all nice and dandy. But if you have that, that is just much, much better. At least for us. We want to see that action, don't we? Okay, so 2 kills against 1. Slight leading experience for nothing left. Bit of a poke there in the middle. Obviously, with Diablo nearly completing a stacking process, we're gonna have those 100. Him pretty tanky. Shrine activating bot lane. And Imperius, come on, Potty Boss. You know you want to pick Wrath. Don't wait until the last moment, dude. There's the stun, there's the setup. And Potty Boss is down. Barnaby with another kill. Nicely done. The Russian aggression once again. Putty would be proud. He needs to hack emails when he can kill them directly. Mopsio dropping the ult. Whoa. That's a cooldown burn. I mean, he was really expecting them to go even a little bit harder. That's a great setup now for Team Russia. I mean, seriously, now they have not only gotten the kill, but at the same time they forced out the ult too. That's great for them. And they can now go for the Shrine and should actually have a pretty good head start here. It's not really a lot of ults that they use for this one. Starting to move down to the bottom. Alright, get the head start here too. Cam taken, top right. Feels like nothing left is again gonna let this one slide. They already let the last one go, but it seems like they're gonna do that again. That's great for Rexa, to be honest with you, because, well, he's already working heavily on getting his globes together. But if they also... I mean, he's gonna get it either way. It was just about a save. They are grabbing the Punisher now, the globes that spawn. He can just get them immediately and then get the extra armor through the Hunter-Gatherer. At the top, they're still scouting everything out here. There's only 1 Shaman Camp taken, and yes, nothing left is letting this one go again. So 2 kills against 2. And they're starting to move straight through the bot lane now. And the gate is already open. There's the jump. You can try and follow that up. Barnaby is already moving in. Riptire from behind. Quest completed for Rexa, but he's topside. And here comes the flag. They're trying to force the battle here. 5 versus 4. Barnaby jumps out, recalls, moves away, and dodges nearly everything. Stun into stun. The APOC combo. Horrify comes out, but that only pushes them out. Doesn't really help them too much. Holy shit! The 4-man Punisher stun. Damn, son. 4-man Punisher stun right there. Just imagine a follow-up in that situation. Tyrande is dead and Mopsio might fall too. Ah, no, it is actually Barnaby that dies next. Tracer is down, a 1-for-1 trade. The Punisher actually took down the fort and is going to join the fun in another second. Podipos is again about to die. He went into armament on level 10, but there's the kill against him. So he's down, and that Punisher still has 30%. They're trying to bait it over again, but they're already breaking through that wall. That's max value that we're seeing here. The Russians with full-on force through the bottom of the map, 4 kills against 3. And yep, they're gonna get this one. By the way, talking about getting things in stacks and stuff, 13 only for Gul'dan. Not really a whole lot for Fallander here. It's interesting, actually. I mean, that bad boy is killing it on pretty much every hero that he plays, but he still has huge troubles getting those stacks together with Gul'dan. I mean, they're nearly... they're 2 levels away from level 16 in the Ruinous Affliction, so he definitely needs that a little bit quicker. There's the rotation for Manabir coming in. A push on the wave, and you need to make sure that you catch all of that. So yeah, with that said, we're now also having at the same time down to the bottom of the map. Mopsio, alright. Gets another connect here, sitting at 17 stacks for his level 1. Let's take a bit of a look at the damage output, by the way. 28,000 for Hanzo, 21,000 for Tracer. No Tracer getting the kills, though. I mean, they're doing pretty well here. It's honestly about a structural advantage for now, if anything. If you look at experience alone, Team Russia is only slightly in the lead, but it's really the structural advantage that they have. It's not only the bot lane where they opened even up the wall at the keep itself, it's at the top where they put damage onto the fort. The next Punisher, on the other hand, is going to spawn into the mid lane, or the objective at least is. So yeah, they're starting to go into the mid lane again. Rotation headed towards the bottom for the additional camps. There's actually quite a few still available for the blue team to take. And that would also increase the lead and experience that they have here. Level 16 talents are going to be the next milestone for both of them. And obviously there is now some catapult pressure, at least on the map, which Nothing Left has to deal with. So, that said, 19 stacks on the level 1 for Arthurs. Ooh, that was nearly quite a kill up here at the top, but Tracer was definitely going aggressively deep into this. But down here, this is actually going to be important as well. If you get the roots into the path for the next shrine fight, that's going to be great. Talking about fight, there we have a big one, and the APOC comes in, arrow connected first. And they're trying to get that kill. Misha is still fine here, by the way. And as I say, G-Times TAB apparently had a different idea there. A few more stacks coming in. The Fallen are still not even hitting half time. Now there's a 16 on the other hand, and both of them are going to get that in a moment. And Diablo, yep, goes into the setup again with the domination now for the Shadow Charge. We've seen it in Gold League actually for a full Firestomp setup the other day. It was actually earlier today, if I remember correctly. It's definitely a bit different. Ruinous Affliction is now in, and we're having also Feign Death for Rexa. 16s are also giving us, amongst other things, well, first of all, the Sovereign Armor. So armor everywhere. Plus the Embrace Death as well. But yeah, I mean, it is a main tank after situation that we're going for right now. So stuff like more defensive talents and also obviously Iceborne Fortitude just make perfect sense here. We've seen a few more Arthur's players lately, especially in Europe, go also for trade talents, even in China, to be honest with you. Just trying to get that extra damage to level 1 and then sometimes adding the second charge and 16 later and cooldown reduction. But in this case, it's not an offlane Arthur that tries to look and do more damage. It's more so controlling the opponent with your slows and the CC. And being tanky. What's your job, dear sir? Being tanky. Alright, congratulations, you accomplished that. Well, there's the Horrify. They're trying to go in. Mopsio goes down. So much for tanky, baby. That's the kill. And again, the Russians just... oh, they are looking. They're out for blood right now. They're looking for the kills. They want those kills. They go in again. They're still having top lane pressure through the Shaman camp a bit earlier. But the Russians are taking the position. They're already sitting at 30 stacks right now against 29. And Nothing Left. It's just really having trouble getting kills here. Which is honestly a little bit surprising if you think about it. There's so much CC on their end. They have a Tyrande for the Huntress Mark, but they just can't make these connects. It's honestly tricky for them. And Diablo is still sitting at 100 souls, so it means he's super tanky with his setup too. They, by the way, go into the Devil's Due on level 1. Now when we're going against Tyrande compositions, we oftentimes see them make the adjustment and try and head into Soul Shield. It's mostly when you also have the Jaina on the other side though, for the spell burst damage. But yeah, the push through the mid lane, that's going to be an interesting one for sure. Because the question is, how much more than the fort can you actually get? And if they can get kills again, that could be a lot more. Could be key. Now, it doesn't really look like it. There's a nice burn against the Immortals, already down to 40%, but I don't think that there's a chance that he can save the fort itself. There's the jump again, gets procced, APOC comes through. trying to get the kills in. Not quite. And Mobster is already zoning out the back line. Hanzo with the arrow as well. There's the Riptire. And already Malfury, nice, taking the Riptire down before it can actually do any harm. Portiboss is low. Fort is down, destroyed. Portiboss dies. The Horrify kill, and another one as Arthur's is dropped as well. 7 kills against 3 now. And they have a shot to do even more damage here. And by now, actually seeing Fallen down Gul'dan getting some honest stacks together. That fight was a lot better than any of the other brawls that we had from his perspective. So he got a lot in here. And now they're making the play again for the keep, this time at the bot lane. That's where the wall is already open, waiting for at least Misha to come back in and soak a couple of the shots here. And they definitely have to. 33,000 damage now for Tracer, trying to make the play into the backline again. Keep is low. Catapult is firing away too. And it looks like we're going to get this one. Can they get the wall stun? Not quite, but they might still get the kill. And indeed they do. Junkrat is down. No wall stun needed. The follow-up of Misha was there. It was a grisly performance by the big Russian bear there. And the arrow. Oh, nearly the kill against Banabir. Through the arrow alone, Diablo's in trouble and Stalk is down. That's the reset, at least on the stacks. Nothing left is not going to give this one up. They get another lunge in and the follow-up stun, plus root against the bear, but Tracer with a kill against DAB. Banabir again taking DAB on, again successful. 2 kills now against Hanzo from Banabir alone. Tracer absolutely performing here. Once again, in come those hits with the Runa's Affliction, and of course particularly with the level 1, 31 stacks by now for him. And they are murdering stuff. Top lane, that's why we're having even the fort getting pushed down at the bottom of the map. It's all about the chase, but 20 talents are ready. That means we now have, after the Horrify, we have Haunt taken. Now seeing the Live Bloom as well, very heavy focus into the regrowth. And just generally speaking, Team Russia is looking fantastic. 9 kills against 4. Great start for them here overall. Into game number 1. Well, it's not really a start anymore. We're looking at 16 kills right now. So yeah. I'm sitting straight in the middle. And it's pressure everywhere. Catapults, bot lane, mid lane. Only fort that they still have to drop is at the top. The problem is also that this is the next objective right there. I mean, this is going to be the biggest issue for Nothing Left, because if they lose the next one, and I don't think they let me think about this for a second. They haven't won a Protector yet. Sorry, a Punisher. So if they lose the next one too, it's pretty much lights out, because that thing walks straight towards the core. You can bait it a little bit into the middle, but that's already about it. So yeah, and we should actually, I mean, with a bit of luck for Gul'dan, see him also complete his quest around that time. And then it's going to even be harder to not only win the shrine, but also deal with the damage there. Stalk, he is the one who still needs a few more minion waves, because he's currently down to 16. 16 stacks, I mean, on the baseline. It's a little bit tricky. This is where Misha becomes your main tank, and Diablo is just an afterthought. It's not quite that bad yet. But there's 20 versus 20. And that gives us now also the Heavenly Host. Oh, there's again. Set up as we're having the Riptide. Oh, Tracer, the insta-kill. Yeah, that turned quickly. So all of a sudden, so much for the plans of Team Russia. If they can't get a kill quick now, then they are going to be the ones that have to accept facts and face the reality that they're most likely not going to win this one. They are going to take the top fort though, so that is definitely inevitable. Down here, having still the push straight for Arthur's Horrify, and Stalk doesn't get the second wall stun in. Misha falls too. That's always the beginning of the end. For Team Russia, the situation is absolutely unbearable right now. There's a Punisher taken, you lost the momentum a little bit, but at least you get some value up at the top side. And the wall here is going to fall. Misha is already going to make this way over. Well, Rexa is the minion in the team. And now we have the rest of them moving in too, so they're actually trying to threaten this. They're honestly trying to threaten the top keep. And Stalk is there, he shows as well. They will have to move back from this, and they're already starting to Hearthstone here. Yeah, Punisher's now moving in. And will get a bit of value, but how heavily are they pushing through this? Tracer's back. Tracer's obviously in their own base. Arrow, hit, Nature's Cure, follow up, Dibbles, down. Alright, that was a quick one. Misha barely makes it out of the radius of the Riptire here. Trying to go for the stun on the other hand. And the back line, we're having Podibos doing a lot of good work too. Uh-oh, Rexa is down, and that was that. Another kill against Khaldor. And yeah, they're starting to murder them here. Nothing left all of a sudden comes out swinging. They had something left, they were lying. They definitely had something left. This is also pretty good for the red team. Despite Banabier's efforts, we are seeing the fort or the keep fall. And honestly, as a Tracer player, that kind of sucks because you're just sitting there and it's like, I can't deal with this. I don't have wave clear. It's not enough. And are they actually going to try and go for core? They are. 15 seconds for Diablo. 2 up. Can they end this? They might be. There's another minion wave. 8 seconds for Diablo. Here's Apocalypse. Alright. This is not a given. This might actually backfire. This might backfire here. Banabier is looking for the kill. Diablo is there. 17 seconds. There's the Apocalypse. And that's goodbye to Randa at least. The core is falling too. There's one wall stun. They're trying to make the play for DAB. Here comes the Hellfire. And that's the end of Junkrat. Uh-oh. Nothing left might be in trouble. It's close though. It's really close. DAB is down. The rest is there too. 10%. Horrify. The double kill. 9% on the core. And they get wiped. A 5-man team wipe. Oh, Banabier gets mass ping, guys. This is nuts. 9% on the core. They overestimated the situation, and now we're having Team Russia on the move towards the right side of the map to end the game. Misha is leading the charge. And that is only, I mean, that is absolutely understandable. The bloodthirsty bear is moving in and is trying to end the game here, and I think they can. 10 seconds for Tyrande, 16 seconds for Junkrat. This is looking great for Team Russia, and we have the Russians tie the series on Infernal Shrines with an insane defense and then a comeback. This is game, and Team Russia with the first point on the scoreboard here in this best of 5 series of Division S. GG and well played. Game number 3, boys and girls. Battlefield of Eternity. Time to shine as we're heading into our next little match here. On the left, we have Stalker on Johanna. We have Kolya again on Rhaegar. Farlander on Liming. Shamzik on Tacita. And Banabier on Tracer. So once again, they're rocking it here with a double support Tracer composition. And on the right side, Thrall for Blick Kidney with the Trash Lightning. We have Tyrael played by Podibos. Linked on Tyrande, Nopsio on Anubarak, and DAB on Jimmy. It's a great series, and yep, the Russians once again added with that Tracer play. I mean, Banabier is an insanely good Tracer, but I also want to check out how exactly Liming is going to fare, because let's just be honest here for a moment. Farlander is a great player. Farlander is insanely versatile. That's probably the best way to put it. Like, he is impressing me quite a bit. But in this case, we also have to watch out for Thrall. And I mean, obviously, at this point, he is in the 4-man. It's kind of, if you want to go for Crash Lightning, and you kind of want to do that in Battlefield of Eternity, if you're playing with a Thrall, you want to have him on the 4-man, which means that someone else has to take over on the solo lane. And this is exactly what we're currently seeing here from Nothing Left. They're currently seeing Tyrael at the top lane. Podibos has it. And he's going up against 2. Shamzik and Banabier are currently sitting there trying to deal with him and trying to take that wall down, whereas most of the setup is down at the bottom. Makes it, of course, also a little bit trickier for Blick Kidney to get stacks together. He only faces off against 3 heroes where the Chain Lightning can bounce. Doesn't make it impossible by any means, but definitely limits his chances a bit more. Outside of that, when it comes to the talents, we have Jimmy actually with the Exterminator. And Exterminator has been a little bit of a hot topic with me lately, especially through the Gold League China cast. It is really a talent that the Chinese, for some reason, pick on extremely, like on a lot of maps. And it's a talent that I don't think is really all that great. If you have on your team an Arthas or a Jaina or just an insane amount of slows and stuns. And that's exactly what we're usually seeing on the Chinese side. They are highly prioritizing Jaina in a lot of these cases. And if you have this many slows and then you go into Exterminator, then I'm honestly in a mode where I just want to kill a puppy or something. It's kind of insane. But in this case, I can actually understand the impulse. I mean, for the time being here, we don't have a Jaina, we don't have an Arthas. Granted, there are some stuns, but DAB will get good value against the objective here for sure. And let's not forget that we have a pretty heavy damage output from them, generally speaking, because of the Kidney and the Trash Lightning that he's going to try and stack even more aggressively. And they burned through the entire wall here. I mean, so far things are working out quite nicely. 4-0 left. If you compare that to the top lane, the wall here has already been a little bit damaged, but not nearly as much as what we're seeing down here. So the Russians under a lot of pressure right now. And again, Barnaby with a play for Ling, trying to connect here. Stun comes out, Ling, oh, the kill, Li Ming comes in, Falender perfectly delivering. And the second kill secured too. Mopsio barely moving out. Great performance there, double kill for the Russians. They were under pressure, and that's where they thrive. Great job by them, getting the 2 kills. Obviously, the Immortal is not on the map yet, so they can't really do too much with it at this point. Owl comes through, double checks real quickly what's going on over there. Just double checking that they're really taking the camp, that they're not trying to invade on the right side. Gives Blakidney a bit more safety in his own attempt to take down the Shaman camp here and put it to the top lane to create additional pressure. But obviously there is now a lead in experience on the side of Team Russia, thanks to those kills that they just got. We're moving again into the position here. 6 stacks by now for the Kidney on the Trash Lightning. We're once again starting to move in here. More and more stacks are coming together. And Mopsio is actually starting to zone them out too. Tassadar is split from the team a little bit. Shamzik has to be very careful here. Obviously that's a low HP hero. And there's the halftime show. Handily won by the blue team as they're trying to drive a wedge between the opponent's players. 8 stacks by now on on Blakidney's Thrall. And yeah, he's getting there. The longer this whole setup lasts, the better for him. I mean, he is actually in a position where he can definitely complete that talent. And this is one of the best maps. It is the best map, hands down, for Trash Lightning. Volskaya being a close second. Outside of that, you usually don't see it taken. But by now we have also the first Immortal in play, and the Russians, they claim it. 50% shields, and the Immortal is going to move down to the bottom of the map. Ooh, talking Thrall needs to be a bit careful. Frostwolf Resilience kicks in, and with that we're at least having Thrall moving out of harm's way as Barnaby is moving in. But there is already a level 7 on the side of Team Russia, and that is going to give them even more power as they're trying to move through the wall here. And they're going for Mopsio. Mopsio gets out and gets the heal from Link that keeps him safe. 11 stacks by now on Thrall. And honestly, that should already be reflected in the damage output. Yep, indeed it is. 10,000 damage for Thrall. His poke ability here on this map is incredible. He's showcasing that already. And the more because of the J and the P at the beginning and the end of that weird Smurf account name that he has, I'm always just, my brain jumps to JP. I don't know why. And then it automatically just like fills in the gap with the L at the end. But either way, he's sitting at 12 stacks right now. But he should be able to get a lot of damage done here. Slight adjustment, by the way. There's not really too many stuns. I mean, there's a couple of slows available on the other side. But when it comes to stuns, we're having, of course, mainly Johanna here. So we're not seeing the... we're seeing Khaldor resistance, in this case, on the side of Tyrande. So that helps a lot against Tracer, obviously, too. And against Li Ming. But Tracer's ult, I don't really want to say it can be negated, but it's definitely a lot harder to get decent value out of it. 2 kills against 0, but the map itself, that's where nothing left excels. They're jumping onto those 4, it's easy peasy with the Nubarak just spawning beetles the entire time, soaking those shots, and then they can escort the camps in and do a bit more damage. And this strategy is working out quite nicely for them. Again, it doesn't really work out in kills, they lost the objective because of it, but they're still doing a lot of damage against the structures, and that's actually worth quite a bit, because if you look at the right side here, the Immortal went through the wall and only damaged the fort, they couldn't take it out yet. So this is still incredibly even here. Well, with that, let's have a quick look at the next Immortal. That's going to be the important one. Barnaby already jumping in, looking for the parting gift there. And once again, the stacks coming together. 13 by now for Blakidney. This Thrall now also with the Ancestral Wrath, so very nice against Tracer. Generally speaking, Thrall, I mean, obviously he's a staple in the meta at this point, but he is especially good also against Tracer because you have the point-and-click damage. It's a very similar concept to why people pick auto attackers against Tracer. She can't dodge out against them, and the same is true for the Chain Lightning here. And the Ancestral Wrath is also going straight into that category, so Barnaby has to be careful in these instances. And we are going to see Blickitne trying to hit him where he can later on. Stun again, but Stork actually not moving into it. Nice play on Johanna here, anticipating the stun already and playing a little bit slower and therefore avoiding the worst. 14 stacks by now on Thrall, so that's working out for them, and they're trying to get the damage in against Farlander. Here comes the stun attempt. Mopsio hits the second. The Wolf misses, but it doesn't even matter. There's the kill, and that is Liming eliminated. Farlander down, and the first kill for nothing left, as all of a sudden they're starting to get a slight advantage here. Level 10 abilities, on the other hand, are now ready for Team Russia, and they might use those to go straight in for the kill again. Another wave would already deal with that, and that's where we're seeing Blickitne at the bottom of the map. The rest of the team is currently homing in on the Immortal itself. You have the Hunter's Mark, you have Tyrande, you have also the Exterminator. Blessed Shield is coming out, no level 10 yet, 4 nothing left. They need to be careful here. Johanna is going Eve. Here comes the bomb, Blinked, mitigating most of the damage here with his level 7 talent. Yeah, not taking Celestial Attunement was definitely a good choice for this game, really helping them. But now they have level 10, and they need to use that immediately because their own Immortal is suffering as is. Halftime show won by the blue team. 15 stacks by now on Thrall, and he's looking for more. He gets number 16, so it's more than halfway done at this point with a quest. Talking quests, 800 for Shamzik. Tacita, 200 short, completing the second reward here. And they're starting to poke. Poking against Immortal, trying to burn it down here, and for the first time Russia is under pressure on the Immortal side. They need to take care of the objective here. Thrall still hoping to get even more stacks together, and he's hitting that Chain Lightning time after time again. 18 stacks for him. Here comes the Earthquake. They're making the play. They're going in. They're trying to take Kolya down. Sanctification on the ground. The Self-Ancestral from Rhaegar as he's trying to save himself, and nothing left is going straight for the Immortal. Dropping the damage. Blessed Shield coming out again. A reset attempt, but instead we have the kill against Tyrell. He looks for the explosion. Doesn't find it just now. But Farlander again going in with a combo against Jimmy and dropping the second kill, getting the resets back. We're having no mana on the side of Thrall. Massive problem for him, sitting at 21 stacks right now. Barnabia is low, but they get the kill against Tyrande, and they're trying to follow it up with another one against Thrall here, but he's able to move out of harm's way. The Russians with the usual aggression going full ham. 5 kills against 1 at this point, and they are going to play this slow. There's already the move back. They're claiming the Immortal, and it's going to be another defense on the side of the red team. Great play here by Team Russia. Great fight in particular. 5 kills against 1. That's pretty respectable. Let's take a look also at the damage output. 29,000 already on Thrall. And again, you can't just simply YOLO that Thrall with Crash Lightning onto the map. You have to be in the format. You need to be diligent when it comes to those Chain Lightnings, and try and slowly and steadily get that to completion. But his poke definitely helps a lot. It helps a lot against Liming. It helps a lot against also Tracer. Blessed Shield came out again. They're going for Thrall, and this time he's down. That was a quick kill against him. Shamzik already with the Archon starting to move for it once more. Anubarak on the run here. Farlander wants to kill but doesn't find it. And they're trying to get even more now against Podibos, but the Immortal already went through the fort at the top lane. Once again, they're starting to move through the top, trying to get more, trying to get the wall, trying to get some damage onto the keep itself. Momentum on the map important right now, and a level 13 talent would definitely help them with the aggression, but the Immortal is nearly down, and therefore no follow-up for the time being. But obviously, Team Russia can now start to move straight for those camps, and they're already on the first one, starting to move in straight away, trying to take this one down. Yep, there's a quick claim of the top. Down at the bottom, we're having the red team rotated now. 13 talents are ready on the side of Team Russia, which gives us, amongst other things, now the Blessed Hammer, and obviously also the Earth Shield. Fantastic talent to be taken here. Really helps you oftentimes to get that Ancestral through. It's just like really the difference of you having that 1 second where the Ancestral really connects them. Massive pressure, by the way, at the top lane. This is a bit of a problem. This is a camp and a catapult pushing here. And the red team is busy at the bottom of the map trying to force the fight here. They don't have level 13 yet. They're still going for it. Nothing left is going for an insane fight at this point. They're forcing it, and they're losing value topside. And they are locked into a fight where they are at a disadvantage. This is not great for Nothing Left. Quite the opposite. This is actually horrible for them right now. We're seeing Nubarak starting to make the move. Big chase is in, also preventing any attempt to move back. And yes, the keep is not going to fall, but that's still a fountain gone. And that was damage against the keep itself that was definitely avoidable. And now they're losing a fort in the process too. There was nothing left, definitely miscalculating a little bit with that attempt. If they can get the kill and a bit of momentum, it might look different. But in this case, it didn't quite plan out. Now we're having the push from Team Russia as they realize that they have some momentum here. The Shaman camp is definitely helping them out, and if they can drop the wall, that would be a huge win. I mean, just imagine them winning the next Immortal. That would be them very likely taking the 2-1 lead here, or at least taking a fort. But also look at Thrall. Thrall is currently sitting at 26 stacks. It's a lot. A ton. He's 4 shy of getting the the quest reward. Blessed Shield came out, but Sanctification was a little bit quicker. Nice deny right there. Good job by Podyboss. They're starting to poke again. Thrall with 28 stacks. He's only missing 2 more. And then the Chain Lightning is going to prioritize Heroes even more, which is going to be fantastic. That's basically guaranteed damage in any fight here. 42,000 poke damage on Thrall already. Looking strong. Tracer on 36,000 only. So he's still the main damage dealer in the game. Obviously, you still need to secure those kills. That's where they have been struggling. Nothing left is only with a single kill on the board here. But the damage from Thrall is definitely helping. And they're starting to move in for exactly that again. DAB pushing them out as much as he can here. Giddy up, taken on level 13. In case you haven't seen that yet. And the constant poke. This is also where Tassadar really starts to excel. He can soften them up from a distance, and once that 16 is in and he has the Psionic Echo, he can also use that too. Alright, once again the attempt to poke, especially of course Fallen. I mean, Li Ming's combos, either you have to soak them with one of the heroes and lose the HP, or you just allow them to go through, but that poke is a problem. 13.5 minutes and we have Trash Lightning completed. That is going to be a nasty one. It's already doing a lot of damage. Look, by the way, at the level 13 adjustment as well. He went for the Spirit Shield against Tracer in particular. Obviously, Li Ming has to be considered here too. But those Tracer bombs, they are a problem, and usually the finisher that Team Russia is trying to employ to get these kills. Thrall was sitting at the bot lane. Here's the halftime show. Won again by the blue team as Thrall is finally coming in. Blakitten and his boys, they need to do something here. They need at some point find an opening. And it's really tricky. Mopsio with the aggression, starting to move forward, gets the stun in, it gets some damage against Shamzik. Once again, a Blessed Shield, the combo. Woohoo! 40 jumps out as Reyna is homing in on the Immortal itself. But yeah, it's an absolute all-out war at this point. Obviously, we're having a position where nothing left is well aware that they need to do something here. They can't just sit tight and let the opponent poke. They have to make some plays. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And Johanna again eating some of the damage. Good zoning here towards the top Immortal. Down at the bottom, on the other hand, we're seeing DAB moving in again with the Exterminator. He's doing the extra damage. Barnaby with a shield continuously. Shamzik is doing a great job keeping Tracer in play. And the extra life leech on level 4 is definitely helping out. The problem for nothing left is the 16. It's soon going to be there for Team Russia, and that's a fantastic talent. Not only for Tassadar with the double storm, but there's a lot more to come too. And they're trying to rush it for the exact same reason. And they're moving in right now, already with the Earthquake on the move. Oh, Barnaby dodging the stun. Mopsio with a nice attempt here, going for the recall position. They're trying to burn it out, and I'm not quite sure if they can. They're dodging the stun circles at this point. Cocoon already used against Farlander, but he's coming in. Sanctifications, but it's not enough. Down goes a noob. Oh my god, it's a full-on disaster. 4 down as Jimmy, Thrall, Tyrael, and a noob all die. Link, the only one that is able to rush away. 10 kills against 1. Level 16 on the board. And Team Russia is dominating in the team fights against nothing left right now. They want the lead in the best of 5 series and are doing a fantastic job right now. Top lane, pressure, catapults already homing in onto the keep itself, and the second one is joining the fun. The rest of the team is already busy at the bot lane trying to take down the keep before the Immortal even arrives, and they're very likely to accomplish that. This is a push for the core, 100%. Nothing left. It's going to try and do everything they can to stop that from happening, but it's not going to be easy. Top keep is about to fall too. The one at the bottom has already died, and now they're starting to go in straight again. Immortal has a couple of shields left. It's not a lot, but it should be enough. They're moving in. Barnaby looking again for another Tracer kill, as we're seeing the damage just accumulate more and more. Missing the bomb there, but here comes Farlander with a combo, and they get the kill against Thrall. Ancestral, keeping Johanna alive. The shield's already falling. The keep at the top lane has fallen now too. And as the shields die, so does Reyna. And this is going to be game. Team Russia is going to take the lead here in game number 3 of this best of 5 series at Division S. GG and well played as the Russians claim victory on BOE. Game number 4, the Russians. They are absolutely rocking it again with their aggression here. Taking the lead in the series, and we are on map number 4. We are on Towers of Doom, and on the left side, Stalk again on Johanna, Kolya on Anna. We're having Farlander on Liming, Shamsik on Uther, and Banabir on Tracer. I've seen parts of that composition before, can't help myself. There's a double support with the Tracer again. And on the right side, nothing left with DAB against Hanzo, Mopsio on the Nubarak, Linked on Malfurion, Blakidney on Genji, and Podibos on Urel. I'm a little bit hyped for this one. This is going to be an interesting one, especially since we're having Uther plus Ana plus tank. Interesting setup here to keep Tracer alive. So with that said, already the lineup here on the right side where we're seeing Blakidney on Genji. And again, for everybody that's watching this on YouTube right now, the reason why you don't see a draft is pretty simple. I was unfortunately not present when those games were played live. I was on a mini vacation visiting friends and family in Germany. So I'm doing this for YouTube right now. So again, if you enjoy the commentary and if you like the games here, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, and would always be appreciated if you would sub to the channel too. So yeah, that's why we don't have a draft here. And Anna is nearly going down in this case. But yeah, I can only assume that in the draft Tacita was banned out, because what sometimes happens if you see that your opponent is going to try and play a double support Tracer composition, instead of banning out Tracer directly, you're more so thinking about playing banning out Tacita. It's like a soft ban, or you're just in a situation where Tracer was already picked, but Tacita wasn't, and you ban Tacita just to make sure that your opponent doesn't get the combo. That's at least what it feels like a little bit, because with Uther and Anna both taken, it just feels like the Russians couldn't get Tacita and said, you know what, there's other shit we can take too. And then we have the double support there as well. So let's find out if they can make that happen. They play again this solo frontline though. This is something that you don't really see all that often. Normally it's just one main damage dealer and then you still get another melee hero, some kind of side laner that has a lot of pressure through, I mean, damage on Thrall's end, for example. But with them running 2 supports, they can definitely use Stalk on the front line. Johanna, generally speaking, is tanky. And there goes the kill. Nice. The Russians again with the first blood here as Malfurion goes down. But yeah, Johanna obviously benefits from the fact that there are 2 supports too, so it's a bit easier to keep her alive with this setup. In terms of talents, we're seeing again the Regeneration Master for Nubarak. He wants those extra 500 hit points if the quest is completed. Seeing in the meantime, Stalk sitting up topside. Podibos jumps in. There's Mopsio as well, so they're going straight for the minions, trying to force the rotations again. Uther's in that weird spot where he all of a sudden has the side lane and somehow withstand the pressure of Urel. So this is the one thing that's a bit weird here, because normally on Towers of Doom what you try and do is to have a solo laner that is able to soak 2 lanes. So you oftentimes see Urels, Dehaka, Malthaels or whatnot rotate, Leo for example, rotate between the 2 lanes and just push the waves out. But in this case, Shamsik can't do that, so someone has to always move into the middle and try and get that wave as well, so that you don't lose out on experience. This is why we're seeing Johanna the entire time mid lane, instead of going down to the bottom here and help out. So with that, we're having now the altar phase. Okay, top left already got channeled, top right, same thing happening now. From the perspective of nothing left, and it's all about the bottom altar. Who's going to take the lead here? Who will be the one to make that little play, to take the third one? It seems so far as if it's going to be the Russians again. Podi, oh, not quite. There's the interrupt. Alright, Podi is also moving in. Looking for a chance to help out here. We're seeing the second support on its way. Normally double support compositions are very, very hard to kill. It's one of the annoying thing with them. They're very sustainable for obvious reasons. It's the damage output on their end. That's always the question, if it's going to be enough. You need to be coordinated for that. But they're starting to move in again. Farlander already on the channel. Mopsio moves out and they let this one go. Yep, that interrupt came too late. 4 shots fired. They're trying to make the play for Mopsio. But they can't drop the beetle. Can't get the buck out there. It's not patch time yet. But we have 36 against 32 points now. We also have the slow again with a bed of barbs. Banabia. Oh, yeah, DAB nearly got him. But Anna was in the way. But it was a close call for Banabia, so the Tracer plays were definitely spot on in the last game. The question is always, can you dodge that out in the late game? We have the level 7s, and especially for Farlander on his Li Ming, that's obviously one of the big power spikes. Once that you have that, you have Calamity, and you can play around that and try and get a little bit more damage in. We're having also the Subterranean Shield right now for Anubra. I guess they are going for the invade here. Okay, Stork needs to be careful. Oh, Genji too. This combo that they have with Banabia drawing a lot of the attention and opening up space for Farlander from the backline to get those combos through is actually working really well for Team Russia. And it's a very similar setup to what they used in game number 3 to take the lead against their opponent. And now both of them on level 7 talents. The Dragon Hungers, another one that we're currently getting here. 11 stacks on the side of Anubrak in the meantime. Meeting up against Stork. That little bush anchoring the play. And Banabia darting in, darting out, looking for a target, looking for a bomb connect, and looking for the kill. Especially, of course, against DAB. That's the little battle that we have between them. DAB against Banabia the entire time here. A slight setup. And I like it. It's honestly one of those little, I don't want to call it a mini game, but it's like there's a little competition that the two damage dealers have. We've seen that on the early maps here in this series. Very aggressive against each other. Old school against new school a little bit. If you want to call DAB new school. I mean, he is still a bit of an HTC in 2018. He was still a bit of a rookie there, obviously. Very good one at that, though. Quickly gained the respect of all the HTC players. The Kidney also moving out. Yeah, that was a close call by him as well. Nearly jumped into Shamsik's Uther, but he was slightly too late to really have an impact in this case. So they're starting to move in once more. Level 9 versus level 9. We don't have level 10 abilities just yet on either side, and I highly doubt that we're going to get them for that altar phase. Depends on how long they are waiting for that. Oh, the jump onto Ana. Yep, and Kolya is in trouble. They're following up on that quickly, and the stun seals the deal. But the kill against Genji as Farlander is taking full advantage of the situation. DAB is jumping out, barely managing to move out before he falls too. But Banabia again on the prowl. Trying to find target. Link with the attempt. Link, by the way, nearly out of mana. That's a big problem for him. They only have one support at this point, but it's a kill for a kill. So even with Ana down, there is still Uther there to help the team in blue out. So that makes that kill a little bit less impactful than you would think. And I was talking about how I don't think level 10 abilities are going to be a thing here, and boy was I wrong, because we have heroics coming in. Is Team Russia going to give this one up? Are they going to go for the interrupt? They should, and yes, they do. So now we have the heroics. Divine Shield. It's going to be used here. Blessed Shield, Nano Boost, Arrow, baby! And it goes straight to North America. And on the bottom of the map, the kill against the Tracer gets wrecked as the blue team is starting to lose heals. But they're going for the aggression again. They want to go for Linked, popping the ult on Malf as they are starting to move in. Here comes the immediate cocoon on the other side. And yep, that shuts down the mage for just a moment. And now we have 2 kills against 2 at this point. And over there towards the top right is, of course, camp time again. So this pair, we have 32 against 32 points. Urel is already back to the lane, so that's a little bit of a calmer period moving into the game right now. After we had that massive brawl over that last altar, teams are calming down a little bit, and we're having that slight rotation towards the top from Urel, with even Genji now being in the middle. One of the assets, of course, of having, or one of the advantages of having Genji in your lineup is that he can quickly move between the lanes here, which he's already proven a few times. Slide traps and anchor plays now from Mopsio and the rest of the team. They're taking very aggressive position around the pumpkin camp. They might even make a commitment for that. They're trying to make a move. But obviously with the mobility, Mopsio is not throwing out any of the cooldowns. This is a little game of chicken that you oftentimes see. Obviously Banabia is fully aware that Mopsio has 2 stuns available. So he's just waiting before he makes any moves until the stuns come out so that he can dodge them. If he throws out the cooldowns a little bit too early, Mopsio is going to take advantage of that and vice versa. So both of them Just holding back the cooldowns and seeing who acts first, who makes the move first. Nice setup here against Genji. They're going for the camp though, and they're going to steal it away. So camp is already taken. A quick root on the ground to secure that too. Stalk is moving in from the side. And here comes the focus onto Uther. They see Shamzik and they want to make the play here. And the Divine Shield saves him barely. Stalk still low. And again, Ana gets cocooned. They're trying to get the setup there. Do they have the stuns ready? And indeed they do. Ana has no chance. Great setup, and now Ana down, but the kill against Genji. The problem is that Johanna has fallen too. So now we have 28 points on the core against 32, and another channel is going to equalize the score again. It's exactly what we're hoping for here. Obviously the Russians, they want to end this quickly now. They want to get the 3-1 victory against nothing left, but the red team has very different plans here. They're trying to ensure that there's going to be a 5th game in the series. We have 4 kills against 3 right now. And down to the bottom of the map with that lead-in experience. We're actually seeing a nice position again for nothing left. They're currently looking amongst other things also once more into Valen's Chosen. We're having the Nature's Swiftness there too. So a little bit more movement speed for him. That might just be enough to move him out of harm's way if those collapses onto him happen again. And a Nubarak, even with the extra damage here, the Burning Rage. Alright, trying to get some AoE into the mix for himself. Now obviously the blue team has also achieved level 13, and with that we're seeing the standard Blessed Hammer again for that extra AoE damage. There's also the commitment towards the camp. Genji is there, waits for the engage, waits for the side, arrow hits and it hits hard as the cocoon, and the kill against Leeming. Uther on the top, Ana falls as well. Great setup, and it looks like Barnabia is going to bite the dust too. At least there's Podibos moving in, gets the jump, gets the hit, but the Divine Shield keeps Barnabia alive. And, well, I spoke too soon. Turns out that Hanzo is a pretty decent hero, and he gets the kill against Tracer here. 7 kills against 3, and nothing left is starting to rock the show here. Nicely played by them. Boy, that was pretty good. Double support is great. The problem is if one of your supports is constantly on the top lane because he has to solo against Urel, then the double support doesn't really help you in the fight. This is a big problem now for Team Russia, because this is going to lose them control over the bot lane, just as another altar is about to spawn. And yeah, that's a fantastic setup right now. Bot lane control, nothing left with a 2-level lead, 7 kills against 3, and another altar to be taken, which is going to drop the core of Team Russia down to 23 points. So they're taking a massive, massive lead. And they're looking also for level 16. The camp is still being fought over. Moving away from this. 16 is there. They can definitely fight. They can definitely look for the battle right now. Urel is still topside, and Uther is already starting the rotation, but that 16 talent gives them a huge advantage. And they're trying to invade this now. Urel is working at the top lane, and the wall has already broken through here, but it's a 5 versus 4 still. They're poking the entire time. The camp is taken, and the Blessed Shield misses. Mopsio already on the move out as we have that. And they're starting to move in once more for that little attack, but look topside. Yep, Urel is starting to get mad value here. So it could be a just simple exchange of bell towers here, but this one is still working out. And obviously the bell tower is now starting to home in onto the heroes too, because the minion wave was still a little bit too far out. Finally joining range. This is going to be an even exchange. Bell tower at the bot lane is eliminated, and the one at the top is falling as well. 16 talons in their hands. And the match still continues with that premise. So now the advantage for nothing left. They're going to try and carry that to victory to force the 5th game. Let's take a quick look also at the damage output that we so far see. Hanzo again with a 40,000, 35k on Tracer. And here comes again the attempt to go for Stalk. Podibos with a body blocks attempt that didn't quite work out for them. In comes Barnabia. And we're having DAB with a poke too. Now that they're all united and there's 5 roaming on the map, we have the triple altar vase starting as well. And that obviously means that we're going to look pretty soon at a potential 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Russia. Of Team Nothing Left. They have the slight advantage right now. And if they manage that, that's 10 points off the core, and then we're talking problems for Russia. But they have won a couple of fights where it looked already dicey. I have to highlight again that Mopsio is just 7 additional stacks away from getting those 500 hit points that he wants. Farlander moves out. Stork is sitting there, but Genji still with the damage. Top left gets channeled by Uther, and they're making the play for the bottom here right now. It's a 5 versus 4 at this point. Urel is starting to jump in. Barnabir gets stunned, trying to jump out. Arrow again, not connecting with anything. And Uther is just saying, all right, whatever, I'm just going to go topside. I'm going to channel that one, it's fine. He's going to try and get that. Putty boss! And it's too late. 3 shots fired, so that's in total 6. That was a little bit of a misplay there by Nothing Left. Too much focus onto that little team fight. But if they can still win it, might turn into an advantage for them after all. And they take down Tracer. There's also the quick move against Uther as they have the cocoon on the ground. Divine Shield on Ana, but the rest of the team is still fighting. Woo! Li Ming with a reset kill against Hanzo, but she herself is getting punished for that. Shamzik is also in trouble and might actually be dropped here. They can lock him down again, but he dodges out on everything. Now the big question is, how much do those 2 kills actually help Nothing Left? Are they able to take the bottom bell tower back? Is that going to be a thing? The channel is already there. Link is not even waiting for the attempt. He's just saying, well, 5 points, that's enough for me. But generally speaking, they still lost on this altar phase. I mean, they lost 2 of the altars, but now, of course, they're getting the bot lane control back while losing topside control. So it's again the exchange that we have. But the entire time, it's just exchanges, exchanges, exchanges. And this is actually taking quite some time. It's taking a long time. This is why we're already seeing Blikitni moving through the camp here and trying to get the value. 17 against 19, the 2-level lead still. 20 is going to be so close for them. Yeah, and that's the first camp taken. That forces the attention down to the bottom of the map. I mean, Farlander's already here, but the rest of the team has to go there too. And honestly, once that this is taken, you have a choice. You can either defend your bottom bell tower, or you can first of all claim the one in the middle and then go boss. Those are pretty much the options that you have, and they're defending bot side. They're going for the bot lane right now. They want to maintain the control here and go for that. Urel is rotating over, has actually left the mid lane for now. It's going to take that later. That's one hit that you need, and then you got it. 22 against 18. That's the points that we're currently seeing here. In comes again Blikitni from the side. Urel moving through the middle again. This time, likely going to try and take that out. They're rotating Stalk now against Urel. Trying to use the wave clear that Johanna provides to meet that. Double altar. And there's the 20. Double altar with 20. And that means also that they could push them down into single digits if they get both. So it's still an attempt to hold the bot bell tower for as long as they can. Mid lane has been converted now. And Urel is already busy at the top side. Here comes again the wave of force, trying to push someone back. Didn't quite work out. There's the quest completed for Nubarak. A lot more hit point heavy at this point. The extra 500 through the quest completions are really going to help him out. And Urel is attempting to push through the top lane now for the bell tower. As the interrupt, potentially. Yep, there it is. Nicely done by Blikitni, but the bottom bell tower has been reconverted. So 5 against 3 still, and they're trying to go for both. There's already the channel, and that is likely to happen. Yep, there's the body block against Star. Nobody is able to get that in time. They're going for the bell tower, but that's 5 shots fired, and Hanzo is now on the right side, channeling it through as well, but he's slightly too late, so that's only going to be 4 shots. In total, 9 shots fired, and that means that we have now single digits on the core for Team Russia. Nothing left, sitting at 22, having level 20 talents, and they go straight up for the boss. Great move by them. They have the advantage. They have the Storm Talons. And now they're going to take the extra 4 points and remove the boss as an objective from the map for the time being for the next 5 minutes. So also an important move here. While still trying to defend the top lane. Arrow comes out, hits 2, but they're already in the death zone. I don't care though. Stuns and roots come out. Johanna is at the bottom of the map. Once again. Currently having at this point the only hero, by the way. There's 3 heroes that haven't died yet. Uther so far hasn't bitten the dust yet either. But yep, with that we're currently having 58,000 damage, 49,000 for a Tracer. And Johanna still getting attacked in the mid lane here. But of course with the bot lane, the camp's up again. It's constant rotations. I mean, the entire time you're taking the top bell tower, you trade for the bottom. You trade the bottom for the top, vice versa. And then it's always about the pumpkin control so far. The Russians aren't quite out of this yet. I mean, we're talking about a single altar in the next phase, and with 20 versus 20, you still have the potential to win those team fights and then gain momentum back. We've seen that a lot in the past. I mean, there were literally teams that were on a single point on the core against 20 and that made a comeback by just winning a big team fight, wiping their opponent, and then taking it from there. Now we have Storm Talons on each side, and that definitely evens up the playing field. Now you have to remember that there's actually still an advantage through that one additional level that Nothing Left has. That's a stats advantage of roughly 4%, and that honestly matters. Then again, Ana is in trouble, and in a lot of trouble at that. Here comes again the Cocoon on the ground and the arrow from Hanzo. They're pushing Ana back for the time being. Nice move there against Genji, but he's still alive, and Malfurion's keeping the entire team topped up. They're making the play again for Li Ming. Nano Boost is already out. Divine Shield was used as well. Farlander's in a bit of trouble. Ult being used on Urel, but Stalk procs the Indestructible on 20, and they are just getting pushed back right now. The channel happening at the bottom right as Johanna falls. She's down. Channel interrupted as they're going for Shamzik. Uta went a little bit too far here, maybe even. Of course, he has redemption, but look at Barnabia. He's already about to fall as well. Uta with the heals again here on thanks to the passive, but they are in trouble and they know it too. They're trying to go for the counter kill, but they just can't lock down Boss, it seems. Once again, we have the aggression, the Swift Strike, and the play for Tracer. Blake Kidney moving out. In comes Urel. Barnabia. Li Ming is dead first. And Hanzo with a kill against Tracer. They can go for the bottom bell tower, and that would be game. If they take it right here and then go for the channel, then it's lights out. And with Ana falling, it's only Uther that survives here. And he just doesn't have what it takes to turn this around. The channel started another arrow just for the flashy plays. The channel continues, and with 5 bell towers under their belt, this is game, ladies and gentlemen, as Nothing Left forces game number 5 in this series. GG, well played. Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Team Russia against Nothing Left. Seems like Nothing Left had a little bit left there after all. Claiming the 5th game right now. Sky Temple on the left. Stalk on Tyrael. Shamzik on Illidan. Alright, here we go. Farlander on Maiev. Okay, baby, we're in now. And Barnaby apparently has a subscription on Tracer because we have him again on the same hero. Kolya and Rhaegar. And over to the right side of the map, Boss for Nothing Left on ETC. Side lane ETC, Mopsio and Stitches. The double support this time for the red team with Linked on Malfurion and Blikidney on Tacita and DAB on Cassia. It's actually interesting. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but every single time I see someone like Blikidney on a hero like Tacita, I feel that's a waste of a player. Oh, the kill against Illidan. Yep. Illidan player confirmed. I got this, boys. 1v5. I don't got it anymore. No. That's pretty much what we're seeing there. All right. This feels a little bit like quick match, to be honest, at this point. You have an Illidan on your team, and within the first minute of the game, he dies. That feels very familiar. I've seen this before. But yeah, Boss with the side lane ETC, so we can expect him to go for Echo of Elements on level 7 to have the wave clear. And obviously I would expect him to go for the stage dive. But yeah, we have actually a double support with Cassia. The EP on the hero will be interesting. It's actually an interesting combo if you think about it. I mean, if Mopsio hits decent hooks, it is going to be slightly crazy because there's a power slide. It can be used to lock the target down. There's also the root of Malfurion. That's quite a bit. A lost opportunity from Mopsio, on the other hand. He went into the patchwork creation. Yes, there's a Tacita, but still, I gotta admit, right now, I want to see Hungry for more. That talent is just insanity. Always makes me happy when we see that. Feels like a little mini-game right there. But this is the last one, guys. We went the full distance again. Division S once again delivers. Honestly, the league has been an absolute pleasure to commentate ever since its inception. It is fantastic, just hands down. We had of course we have our 3-0s too, but we had so many 5-mappers right now, and it is just a blast to see these players play against each other. It kind of feels a little bit weird, but one of my favorite things is when we actually have every now and then someone subbing in for a team that you haven't seen in a while. When we've seen that, Sport Billy coming in, Nurok subbing a couple of times for Washed Up as well. It's just a lot of fun to see these guys and just like see what they are doing again. And obviously, we have then also players that start to make a name for themselves in the post-HGC era. Players like Tai for Granite Gaming, Wit on the side of Go Next. Especially Go Next is a super interesting story there too. So yeah, Division S definitely very, very entertaining here. Slight adjustment in the Tassadar build. Now we don't see the extra life leech, not quite needed here. It's more so about the survivability, and that's why we're seeing the extra armor at this point. So we're currently having them with Kala's Light on level 4. And well, the next time we're having the camp taken, and that comes as we are seeing the objective appearing on the map. So Stitches is still sitting bot side. Again, once that we're seeing ETC with the stage dive, you can start to play around a bit of pseudo-global style, but for the time being, they can't really do too much with it. ETC is still taking over the bot lane, and Boops throws the Siege Giant straight into the tower range. Nice move from him. That definitely does the trick, at least for the early game. But with that said, the aggression that we're going to see from Team Russia, I mean, again, that draft, if you think about their playstyle, is pretty much right down the alley. You're trying to go in with Tyrael, you force the fight with Maiev, you go in with Tyrael and with Illidan, drop the Sanctification, and then go straight for the plays here. That will have potential, but it's also one of those do-or-die strategies where if you can't really make it work and you fall behind, it's very, very tough for you to make anything happen. Think about it like this. If you fall behind with any other composition that has good poke from a distance, you can always poke against your opponent, you wait for a good moment, and then you engage and drop a target. If you fall behind with this setup and you're at a talent disadvantage or level disadvantage, or just generally speaking, who's gonna poke? There's nothing that you can really do. If you go into a fight, you have to commit to it. And if you see a good situation, you can definitely pull that off, but you have to actually commit to these battles, and you can't just simply sit there and wait for an opportunity. At some point, you have to flip the switch, you have to say, okay, we'll go right now, and if it doesn't work, then you're just screwed. Level 7 with the Swift Retribution is definitely going to help Illidan even more. Maiev is going to benefit from that a bit as well. Ah well, and here we have the fight over the final few shots on the temple. Stalk goes into the back line, trying to pressure Tassadar. Still, of course, very low on the hit points. And there we have it. Pody Boss is about to get attacked. Barnabia, yeah, barely moving out of this one. As we're seeing Illidan looking for a target. But the hook against Farlander. You can water the Warden all day long, baby, but this time you're not going to get out of harm's way. That hook was just absolutely perfect. Nicely done by him right there. In terms of talents, we don't have a Lightning Fury build. We're seeing the Charge Strikes and the Surge of Light taken. And actually, looking over to ETC, no wave clear for him after all. The Pinball Wizard instead. Okay, so we're going to see how that's going to pan out for him. Now I'm very interested to see the heroic ability, if they're still going to play around stage dive, as you usually would see on this map, or if they're saying, you know what, with the lack of interrupts that you have on the other side, we're actually going Mosh Pit, baby. That's of course good control over the boss pit too, which you oftentimes see focused here. Don't really see a lot of moves regarding structures just yet. It's mostly the red team that has suffered there a little bit. But they got the 2 kills, the only 2 kills in this game so far. Illidan, of course, still a hero that scales well into the late game. His level 10 is also going to be interesting. Since there is no burst damage, I don't think we're going to see the Hunt. We have seen on the Chinese region a little bit of Hunt with Hinterland Blast or Hunt with Jaina. But over here, where you don't have that follow-up burst, I would still expect him to go into the Metamorphosis, which is going to help him also with the survivability in that setup. Now, I know that a couple of people are looking at every single Rhaegar pick and immediately get excited for Bloodlust, but I would be very surprised to see that. Can't even remember when I saw Bloodlust the last time on a competitive level. Camp is taken. Blue team takes it, and there's the level 10s. Alright, Ball of Lightning being taken, and we have more damage on Tassadar with the Archon. Still waiting for the Mosh Pit here. I would say Putrid Bile. I mean, there's no real reason to go for Gorge. I guess you could make the argument that you can carry a target back and then get those stuns and power slides through, but I would be very surprised to see that. Alright, big pressure at the bot lane. That's actually a really nice setup right now for nothing left. Getting the extra damage against the structures and breaking through the entire wall without even touching that temple is great. And we actually see the Hunt. He went for it. He went for the Hunt. Okay, they have the pseudo-global right now, so they can play a bit more of a macro game. But it's definitely going to limit his impact on the team fights. If they can go for an isolated target, that's a bit of a different story, but that makes it quite interesting. So it's an exchange in structures right now. Heavy commitment topside from the blue team. Team Russia is going for that aggression. And we're talking a lot about Illidan just generally in team fights, but keep in mind that one of the things you can do with Illidan, you can just take structures down. Left alone, Illidan is taking those very, very quickly. it was something that it was actually amazing when that came for the first time in through the Koreans. After Illidan was in his prime and dropped out of the meta, it was nice, good hunt, great play here, and Mopsy goes down. But as I was about to say, after we had Illidan drop out of the meta, it was actually Rich who brought Illidan back in some cases, and it was mostly to pressure the map. So what they did with it was they played against the macro style from the Europeans by picking an Illidan and then setting him onto a lane outside of the real fights, and Illidan was oftentimes left alone because back then the Europeans felt they could deal with that, but they turned quickly around because Illidan just took the structures. And we're seeing a similar situation right now. Nothing Left is actually losing structures everywhere. They've lost the top, they lost the bottom, and that's despite the fact that they actually got the kill lead. So it's a really interesting setup right there that we're having. And by the way, ETC has still not made a move. ETC has still not played a move at all when it comes to rogue abilities. And the hunt is back up. Yeah, Illidan moving in again, trying to take down, first of all, the camp top side. They're dealing with that. 13 is nearly ready, and Illidan and ETC hasn't done anything yet. But now ETC is actually slowing down the rotation here. Boss is slowing down the movers. They're going for boss, but I think they have to abandon this one. There is no way they're actually going for this. Instead, there's a hook, but Mopsio misses it in this case. Illidan is still topside. He has, of course, the hunt, so he can always global down if need be. Let's see if he actually goes for that. Okay. Down to the bottom of the map. Then we have the lane pushing out. Siege Giants. There's the 13. TTC is still waiting. Oh, good stuff. He wants to surprise his opponents a little bit. I guess like he makes it a bit dependent on what the situation is in the game. He doesn't need it just yet. I honestly feel like he's just going to play this flexible. But it also means that he will have to quick pick his talents through hotkeys, because if he doesn't pick 13 either, and he doesn't, then he will have to do that later on very, very quickly. Okay, there's the grounding bolt after all, so gets the extra slow out too for Cassia. ETC hasn't taken anything. Here comes the hunt. ETC with a stage dive, moves in. They drop Malfurion. And that is bad for Nothing Left, to say the least. But actually, they're getting a lot of damage against Farlander, and they're able to take down Maiev. Team Russia in trouble, as they are about to lose Rhaegar too. He's trying to get away. Was able to move out, but ooh. It is turning quickly. They're trying to make the play for Tassadar, and is he going to get away? Yes, Tassadar actually escapes. Here comes the slide and the sanctification. Perfectly timed here, but that fight is not over by any means. Illidan is doing his thing, and Barnabia is also looking for the kill against Tassadar. Doesn't find it though. He's close by on 300 HP. The slide again, and the camp is taken. Nothing Left is actually winning this one. Yeah, actually taking that fight. Honestly, without their support or without their main support, I really didn't think they would be able to put that off. But it was Tassadar escaping that really empowered that. Because, yeah, Tracer just couldn't close the distance for the bomb. And now we're having 14 versus 14, 2 kills against 3. Structural advantage still goes to Team Russia. They have the lead in that. That's, of course, the main thing here on this map. Boss a bit low, gets the shield. They're moving in again. Stitches isn't here. Maiev is moving topside now too. The ball of lightning bouncing around a little bit. Stalk does have another 50 seconds, so we're not going to see sanctification here in this fight. Need to be careful with it. But here comes Farlander. There's Maiev trying to go for the tether, and they're chasing them away. Already proccing the ult of Linked. But Mopsio at the bot lane gets the objective. And Team Russia is actually losing a bit of ground. They're trying to force fights, and they're just not able to lock anybody down long enough. So that lead that we saw for Team Russia in structures is pretty much gone. They still have a slight lead, don't get me wrong, but they were way ahead when it came to forts, and now they're falling farther and farther behind here. They still had inexperience a little bit, but they would really need a bit of a win when it comes to the team fight. Damage output so far, Cassia rocking the charts here. It's a little bit crazy. I mean, one of the things that I want to point out here too is that Boss went onto Progrock on level 1. So it's not only that we're having Tassadar and Malfurion, ETC is also chipping in with the heal power here. That's definitely something to point out as well, because it actually plays a bit of a role. But yeah, level 16 talents any moment now. Yeah, it plays a pretty big role actually. So yeah, it is pretty impactful considering if you have this much. And also, this obviously synergizes with the patchwork creation. So that's another one. That's another big, big plus in this particular lineup right now. Either way though, Team Russia with only 2 kills so far in this game, but they're again making the plays with the earlier 16. Are they going to go for the boss? Seems a little bit like they could. As long as there's no 16 on the opponent's side. Nah, a bit hesitant. Tracer still topside, taking down the walls there. So I don't think we're going to see a big commitment by the Russians just yet. And this is map 5. I mean, this is for all the marbles right here. This is one of those do or die moments. Every time you see a 5th map coming in, it's pretty much the series being reduced to a best of 1. Yeah, so again, starting to push that out as long as they have the level 16 advantage. Tracer with a bit of extra damage against Podibos. Still needs to be careful, but the rest of the team is rotating in too. Yep, alright, they could go for the hunt. Nah, not quite, not far out enough yet. Illidan still sitting in the mid lane here. Needs to be a bit careful. Mopsio unlikely to hit, I don't think he can hit anything here. But still the moves up at the top of the map. 2 against 3. The kill count, 17 against 16, so the lead is still there with an entire level. You're talking 20 at this point. There's a single temple spawning on the bottom of the map, and let's see who's getting this one. Obviously, we have the double storm now. Super important here for Tacita. Yeah, good dodge here with the trade. Falender, if he gets caught by that hook, then he's in trouble. And now that 16 is ready, obviously, we're also seeing the fishing hook. That's another big tool that they have. At the bottom of the map. That's still open and activating soon too. The 2 heroes with the globals, and the pseudo globals are still sitting topside, trying to push that in. And uh-oh, rotation, baby! Podibos is playing it safe and is able to get out. But now they have to tell it back home. They need to get their hell back to defend the keep, or it is a goner. But Stitches is getting the control at the bot lane. So the decision making is absolutely crucial at this point in time. And Team Russia decided to go straight for it here. But the 5-man, it doesn't really seem like they can do enough. They're not getting the damage. And this is a 4 versus 5. I mean, granted, with the insistence of the fort itself, but they just can't take anything here. And Stitches is just sitting down at the bottom, just saying la 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 la, and slowly starts taking down the keep. So they have to force something. You have the 4 versus 5 or the 5 versus 4. You need to do something here right now. I gotta admit that Nothing Left is playing a very good defensive sort of game in every single instance where they are getting pressured. They're just poking from a distance. And this is obviously where ETC comes into play too. It's not only all the support with Tacita and everything. It's ETC's ability to use his face smell to push someone out. He creates space with this, and it makes it very, very difficult to engage against the team when ETC is around and can simply push everybody back. And that's something that they currently take full advantage of. But their lead in experience is still on the side of Team Russia. They might start to fall slightly behind in experience, but as long in structures. But as long as they get the early level 20, they can force a boss fight. And this is what Sky Temple oftentimes comes down to. That one of the teams is fighting for the boss either because they have to or because they feel they have an advantage and can make the play and force their opponent into a weird battle. So this is something that's going to be happening there soon enough. So once again, ETC sitting topside. And keep in mind, this entire game, we are currently 15 minutes in and we've seen only 5 kills. Okay, there's a stage dive. Barnabia gets pushed out and is about to fall, recalls, and he's in trouble. I mean, he should fall here, and he does. Tracer is down, nicely caught off guard here. Well done by ETC. They were calculating exactly how many of those quick blinks were still available for Tracer, and the recall just brought her back to trouble. Now my F is down, and all of a sudden we're talking about Nothing Left having an opportunity to take the first keep in the game. And maybe more, to be honest with you. There's only melee heroes left. There's no poke anymore. Illidan is at the top side, and yeah, Nothing Left is just saying, boys, we got this. 20 is ready for their opponent, but at this point, they're not even concerned with this. Nothing Left is just going for it. The attempt to take Link down in the back line as the hunt comes through from Illidan, but that didn't do enough. And now Shamzik is in trouble. Has to move away here. Taps the fountain, barely dodges out on the hook as Mopsio is trying to go for another kill. Now we see currently Blakitnio and Tacita attack, but they are just dropping them one after another in HP. Stork is about to move out. Yeah, he still doesn't have a Sanctification. The shields are slowly falling on the core itself. Nothing Left is going for it. They are trying to win the series right now, and it's looking great for them. 1 second for Tracer to come back. Linked is low, and Linked is down. Malfurion eliminated, but the core is down to 30%, and it's dropping even faster now. Down to 20. EDC against with the stage dive 10, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing Left with the victory against Team Russia. A 3-2 in the best of 5 for the red team here in Division S.